We are live. This is the market update, the Friday I'm not around market update. Today, we drop the gloves. Somebody fudded Janice McAfee, and they've messed with someone with a microphone. We will discuss the market. We will discuss your personal freedom. We will discuss who doesn't want you to be free. We will discuss who's afraid of John McAfee, because somebody clearly is. Now, before I go into all that, just a brief reminder, what goes up in crypto, what they don't understand, what they hate, and what's hard to buy. Way back in the day in 2020, it was DeFi, then it was AI agents, and we cover all this type of stuff and get you all involved in the YouTube member area. Check the QR code and the link down below. Advanced Roadmap, Crypto Happy Hour, most likely coming tonight. Advanced Roadmap tonight. Don't forget the middle tier offering, Patreon. I have 6th Street Crypto episodes that I am just going to launch in there, and I'm going to launch again, because if you think I'm going to go off about McAfee and antivirus FUD today, well, wait till you see those podcasts. Somebody on this thing just said, I'm going to give him some love when I can reach over there and see it, that most KOLs are not doing shows this week, right? Don't forget LuxAlgo. Most KOLs are not doing shows this week. Why? Because the market is dead, or it looks dead. It looks like 2022 all over again, which is exactly when you get on and you talk. Even if you're talking to the wall, someone might hear you. And someone will be hearing everybody at the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. Oh my God, someone please put me on the stage with Janice. Somebody please let the Bitcoin audience hear something along with Michael Saylor. I want to back up Michael Saylor. So if anybody knows how to do that, if anybody knows anybody, please let me know. In the meantime, please support the channel. Check out Patreon. Check out YouTube members. For $4.99, you can get yourself some cool emojis that get you priorities on comments. Now, back to what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about your freedom. Who's in charge of your freedom? You are. Who wants you to be free? Not that many people. Maybe the Orange Man, maybe his crew. But there are all kinds of other people out there who don't want that to happen, especially if you scare them a little bit, especially, right? And then generally speaking, especially if you look throughout Europe, freedom is gone. Freedom is not fashionable. Do you know how many people who are out there doing things with Teslas and things like that, that, you know, they don't believe you should be free. You should do what they say. Here's what I think you should do. I think you should be free. And you want to know what you do with that freedom? You get out there and you become prosperous. You want to know why KOLs are not doing streams? Because they won't focus on prosperity. Now, it's easy to focus on prosperity when meme coins are mooning. That's easy. You want to focus on prosperity when everyone else is experiencing despair. And somebody decided to get on X today and FUD Janice McAfee and FUD the antivirus project and FUD the guy who's in charge. Who, oh, by the way, I got on a plane to go visit and sit with both of them for basically 1.5 days. So I could DYOR, and we'll discuss what I learned versus what they're trying to put out there. So let's ask just a general question, and we'll welcome who's here, right? Who's FUDing these projects? Who's FUDing the project? Why? Why are they FUDing the project? Why is everyone FUDing the market? Like, why has the idea of cryptocurrency suddenly gone away, especially after everything is either 25% off, that's Bitcoin, 60% off, that's Web3, and 80% off, that's most AI-related memes? Why FUD the market now? Why run out of the market now? That's crazy. You should be running like head first. Let's go. Like, I can't get in here fast enough. And the more they try to stop us, the worse the price action, the more FUD on antivirus, the more determined I am. Literally, between, like, if you look in totality, if you look at Bubble Maps, who funded the project on the way out with completely inaccurate information, followed by, I don't know, like someone attacked V1, Bubble Maps attacked V2, right? Guys are calling me up saying, watch out for these guys. The other McAfee projects don't like antivirus. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Like I said, I'm dropping the gloves. I'm over it after what I saw today. I'm over it. Why is everyone trying to stop the project? Oh, maybe it's the same reason why X can't handle the fact that a dead guy who was a critic of Uncle Sugar, big tech, and wrote the Declaration of Cryptocurrency Independence and wanted you to be free, can't talk on Twitter. Truth Terminal can talk on Twitter. A machine can, but not a machine that sounds like John McAfee. And of course, if you don't know who John McAfee is and how memeable he is, we'll go through that, right? We're going to talk a little bit. Somebody actually did us a favor of doing a whole big thread, right? You can go antivirus.ai. By the way, this is not paid promotion. I do hold the token. I do talk to the team, but this is me just on my own, just out there kind of, everyone says, set the record straight. How about it's a rally cry for your freedom and your prosperity? The YouTube member area and Patreon and this free channel, we are interested in your prosperity. We talk a lot. We do a lot of analysis. The Eagle King makes, he makes sacrifices to help bring you this show, right? So feel free to give the Eagle King some love with that Eagle King emoji that the members have access to, right? Toby Ward does a lot of work for that member area in terms of like the podcast, in terms of like roadmaps, keeping people's head on straight, including mine. So today, we're going to keep everyone's head on straight. And when I'm done, you're going to go out and you're going to look out at the world and go, how can I be prosperous? And how can I push back against all these people who don't want me to be free? Because you know what? We're about to meet some of them. We're going to meet some of them today. They're publishing articles on Twitter, like analysts, like maybe intelligence analysts, term papers. Supposedly, there's more than one coming. Like these guys are doing the marketing for the token for us, along with Ben Armstrong. We are going to talk about that today because we got enough to wrap in good old Ben. God bless him. Charlie, the positive cat. Let's go. Big antivirus Twitter guys. A lot of guys on Twitter. A lot of guys out there with like 200 and 300 followers banging away, tweeting about antivirus every single day. Orchestra Art from the Amsterdam airport freezing his butt off. Today's Tech Bites with the McAfee emoji. Richard Barry, thank you for helping people like me grow. You have no idea how much you and Dan are appreciated. Richard Barry, you go get out there, you get yourself 100,000 followers, bro. You could do it. Especially with the comedy, you could do both. Okay, Grandpa Keeter, Bull Runner, Bud74, Riverween, Sir, right? Most KOLs barely doing shows this week. We have the Tony Robbins of Web3. All right, well, my speech is a little bit negative. That's that dark Scorpio part of me, but I'm working on it, and I appreciate the love. Captain Kirk, what's up? What's up? Right? What's up? Cat D in the house. Charlie, SWAT, Philip, Gregory Hawkins. Is 600 XRP? I don't have a lot of money, bro. You don't have a lot of money. Stick with that XRP. You can get yourself $10,000 worth of Bitcoin one day. Supposedly, you'll be set for the AI future. Bitcoin is an AI trade, and so is antivirus. I don't like to get overly loud because it sounds too much like a shill. You got to find yourself an AI trade. Bitcoin is an AR trade. XRP is a banking system trade. We're going to go over this redhead with this theory about private equity and men behaving badly made Alex J this week. We'll talk about it. That makes the case for XRP. You got a problem with the banks? They have to adopt XRP. They have to. Caroline is here. Welcome. Charlie. Okay. A1. I pity the fool who brings the FUD. What's your prediction? What's the prediction for the fight against these guys fudding antivirus? Pain. And I could take a lot more than they can because you know what? I don't have anything to lose. I don't have anything to lose. You want to come get me? Come get me. Never going to stop. And somebody one day is going to put me on a stage at some conference and I'm going to tell them the same things I'm telling you. They're going to go, wow, who's this guy? Michael Saylor needs backup and I'm going to give it to him. Fuzz Crypto loves the show. Sir, we love you for tuning in. All right, people. I'm dropping the gloves. Done. I'm done. So let's talk about it. Who is John McAfee? Before that, I'm going to say this. Why would you make basically an app, a privacy app, a blockchain-based privacy app that has all these things that it can do, and then attach a meme as the cryptocurrency and put them together? Like, why would you do that? Well, one, McAfee had a vision for privacy. You're about to find out why. And two, McAfee is an absurdly memeable guy. So John McAfee didn't just invent antivirus software. He created an empire and then destroyed it. Okay? So John McAfee's father passed away. Okay? We don't know under what circumstances, but John McAfee grew up in a very, very difficult, traumatic environment. But he happened to be a genius. In the 60s, while most people were using a typewriter, he got himself a job at NASA because he was literally a rocket scientist like Albert Einstein. His job designed code that helped put people on the moon. But the intelligence came with a dark side. Okay? He was a brilliant, reckless coder, and he got himself a job at a defense contractor. Okay? And then he heard about a computer virus that could destroy data. Most ignored it, but John saw an opportunity. In 1986, he made the world's first computer virus was spreading. And John locked himself in a building for 2 years, worked 18 hours a day, slept on the couch, okay, to make a program and gave it away for nothing to stop this particular computer virus back in the 80s. So he was a genius. Basically, antivirus software, you take a computer operating system, take it apart, go in, pull out the virus, and then put the operating system back together. Not easy in 1986. Now, in the early 90s, obviously it became a product. And when they released the product, he was a multimillionaire overnight, right? He was a multimillionaire overnight. Okay. He was Forbes top 100 wealthiest. I think he was worth 100 million at his peak, which, of course, 1990, that was just gigantic money. And in 1994, he sold the company, said, to hell with this, made a YouTube video about how to uninstall his software, said, to hell with big tech, to hell with you all, right? He bought estates, a fleet of luxury cars. He invented Wen Lambo, flew to work in a helicopter, moved to Belize, which is like somewhere in Latin America. Okay. And some people said he had a lab, and I don't think the lab was for bad stuff. I think it was for mosquito repellent, honestly. And the mob rang his doorbell one day and said, hi, we would like you to pay us protection money. And he said, go to hell. I'm not doing it. They came back again and said, we'd like you to pay us $2 million just to leave you alone. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And what that did was that started a chase, right? He handed out laptops, gave free laptops to people, bugged the local government office, and he made everybody upset. John McAfee had a motto. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose as long as you irritate everybody. So the gangs were after him. Organized crime. Governments in Latin America. Uncle Sugar was most likely very upset because he did work for them on occasion, because you never quite leave those organizations. And I'm guessing that they were afraid that McAfee had information that if he fell into the hands of real bad guys, that they would get the information from him. So who was it trying to get rid of this guy? Everybody. And his life turned into an action movie, right? The locals were afraid of him, right? I mean, he was like the ultimate tough guy. He actually hired people to clean up neighborhoods, right? So he also liked partying, which again really enhances the memeability of the whole thing. So not only was he Albert Einstein and James Bond, but it was also kind of like an Animal House party environment on top of that, among other things. The world thought he was a fugitive. Behind the scenes, McAfee was hacking sovereigns, like what I was talking about. And he was afraid of a former female presidential candidate. They wouldn't let him in the embassy when he wanted help. He was afraid of her. He was. Now, why would he be afraid of her? Who was chasing this guy? Everybody. On the run, he became obsessed with controlling the narrative, right? When the media asked why he kept running, the answer was simple. If they catch me, I'm done. So he fought and ran and fought and ran. Okay. But McAfee wasn't just running, he was thriving. In the Bitcoin boom, he promoted crypto projects and became a Bitcoin billionaire. And he didn't hide it. Right? I haven't paid taxes in 10 years. Because I had information on Uncle Sugar. He had information on all the people who are currently getting fired. The guy was a total legend. Like everybody, all the pop culture things now, like, hey, let's do crypto. And hey, let's fire all these people. And hey, these guys are all bad. Yeah, okay. He fought these people. Then he decided his slogan, privacy is freedom, and decided to run for president twice. Alexandra, good evening from Europe, up late at night. Okay. Again, then we had to come get you for tax evasion. Then it was the SEC for crypto. And we've heard this before, right? So the mob, 3-letter agencies, Spanish authorities got him in 2021. He went in jail and never came out. Passed away under suspicious circumstances. And what I can tell you about this is that his widow, Janice, who is here, nice Janice, nice lady. I interviewed her doing a podcast. And Janice, after McAfee passed away, was instantly afraid of their friends. Like everywhere they went. And I got a story about a garbage truck, which I'm going to probably tell if I can fit it in. Janice was so scared after this guy passed away that she was afraid of their friends, no doubt, because the most dangerous people in the world, and we can guess who that is, right? Like, I don't know, like the John Kennedy mystery. It was like, well, it was organized crime and intelligence services, right? Worst kept secret in the whole world. Well, guess what? Same group of people were after McAfee. It's like the greatest meme in the history of crypto. And he risked his ass so he could tell people over and over and over again that you want crypto, privacy, and freedom. Because these people are not nice. They're not nice. So Janice, looking around going, oh my God, she had to go hide with the second scariest group of people in the world to get away from the first scariest group of people in the world. to the point where she wouldn't tell any of us when I went to see her who those people were. I didn't press. She's like, I'm not talking about those people. That's how scary it was, right? That's why, we're going to help Ben out a little bit here. Ben thinks he knows who did this. I hope he doesn't, because if he does, I don't want Ben to meet these people. I don't. Like, I don't want to say I know him. I've met him. I don't want Ben to meet these people. I do not. Especially after listening to Janice and Josh, the head of the project, talk about it. We're going to go over to Clown, who commented in here, who's got me absolutely going off today. Because the reason I'm going off about this today, these reasons are the same reasons that there is absolutely no way that anybody who can hear the sound of my voice is going to chicken out of this crypto market. If we get stopped out and no one watches my show anymore, fine. We are not going to let them chase us out of this market. Why? Because we are going to be prosperous. We're going to be prosperous if it's the last thing we do. Now, if you're wondering what brought on this sort of like red-faced action that we got going on today, let's introduce Rice Crypto. So I like this guy. I've met him. I was on a show. I like him. Super edgy guy. Super edgy, right? And, he found out about antivirus because the whole world knew about antivirus when it came out. It got to an 80 million market cap. Freaking exploded. So he calls me up and says, I think you should watch out for this guy, Josh, who is essentially the project manager. They keep calling him the dev. He's not the dev. He's the project manager. They have a $50,000 a month dev budget to create the privacy app, which has been created, by the way. So Josh, wanting to get the message out there, goes on Rice Crypto. Rice is like, I don't know about this guy. So he went on the show for an hour and a half. Okay, good. People don't believe the project? Good. Bubble Maps FUDs the project? Good. People chase McAfee all over the world? Good. McAfee laid down his life so we could be free? Good. Right? Janice can't stop talking about it? Good. Janice is finding her voice and is pissed, by the way? Good. So here's Janice doing a podcast, right, with somebody out in California, I believe. The Community for Investors in Junior Research and Small Cap Stocks. Good for you. Interviews Janice McAfee. This is what John would have done. Right? Okay. So that makes sense, don't you think? All right. Then look at here down in the comments. Okay. Somebody in the comments puts this article, not a comment, an article. This is when the gloves came off. Antivirus malware detected, part 1. Part 1, okay. So, by the way, as I scroll down this, if you need to go pick up your dry cleaning and come back, you can do that because I'll still be scrolling. So this is all about how the guy that runs the project manager, is no good. On and on and on and on. Right? Now, in this particular story, as it related to one of McAfee's projects, McAfee goes out and tweets, Josh is an idiot. Okay. But what you don't realize is, because I was there and I hung out with them for like 4 hours, they said, yeah, John made this tweet and then called him up and gave him the whole like wink, just kidding. And of course, now everybody's using it to basically do character assassination on this project manager who showed me how to use the eSIM function, showed me how to privately buy, a gift card online using antivirus, how to use the app, and on and on and on and on and on and on. And this is only part 1. This is part 1. So, when you come back from picking up your dry cleaning, I have a question. Who wants to FUD the project? What are they afraid of? Well, that's obvious, don't you think? They're afraid of your prosperity, your freedom, and a dead John McAfee back from the dead. Like, Lazarus, who didn't like big tech, the mob, the intelligence community, sovereigns. Yeah, they can all get bent, right? You're going to have a holographic John McAfee sitting with Joe Rogan. Because right now, the only people sitting with Joe Rogan are the same people who have been sitting with Joe Rogan for the last 6 months. You know, Tucker, Elon, you know, Russell Brand. It's getting boring. Part 1. Okay. Okay, bro. Part 1. Let's see. Let's see if we got the list. No. This is fascinating. Who is following? I don't know. Let's call it the intelligence service or the intelligence analyst that's writing these giant reports about a $4 million coin. Who's following the account? Okay, John McAfee's ghost. So this guy's been a critic, and he's given me a hard time on Twitter, but he's been respectful and has said so. And he has my respect. But we have John McAfee's other projects, WHACKT and Ghost. Now, frankly, if these projects were smart, because, you know, like WHACKT is a meme coin that's been hijacked by Ben Armstrong. They seem to be okay with that, which is funny. But they're not okay with us. They're not okay with AIntivirus. Why? Because they're afraid of it. They're afraid of it. And I actually have a question as to who's running these other projects and why they're not reaching out to AIntivirus so we could make like the McAfee index. I don't know why we're not working together. It's not that McAfee, it's not that the AIntivirus people don't want that. Janice likes these people. I'm just wondering who they are and why they're giving us a hard time. I don't think McAfee would be doing that. So do we have McAfee-friendly people running McAfee-friendly projects, supposedly? Do we? Are those McAfee-friendly people? That's a question. Like, why would they not want the narrative to succeed? Particularly when Bitboy is out there marketing the narrative. Like, he's marketing the narrative, which we'll get to. So let's go over what we have here. We have a fudster out there after a $4 million coin that I know is scaring people. Like, the only thing scarier than an AI, John McAfee back from the dead, is an AI John McAfee back from the dead with Janice on the tape and a loudmouth backing her up. With, of course, intelligence agencies also doing our marketing for us, along with Ben Armstrong, by getting the narrative out there and telling people stuff that, you know, I went to see them in person, which is why I can get loud. I went to get the story firsthand. Got on a plane and went and said, okay, let's all sit down and let's get this straight. But Bubble Maps and some fudster is going to tell you about it in multiple articles. Okay. Okay, bro. It's not a paid promotion. They're marketing the idea. They're showing everyone how scared they are. And I think these other projects, I don't know. They seem to be buying into this fear trade. I don't know why. Because they're afraid of antivirus. They are. Now, let's talk about this. All right. So, Ben, who's, he's having a real interesting time in his life. You know, I kind of looked up to the guy. I was there when he, his channel crossed 1 million followers. Last cycle, he was crypto. Crypto only has Michael Saylor. We don't have Ben this time around, or a Ben. God, I would love to be that guy. Okay. But so Ben's having a hard time. And like I said, he thinks he knows what happened to John McAfee. And if he does, he needs to go find a place to hide. Okay. But Bitboy, being a genius, regardless of what kind of state of mind he's in, is still a genius for marketing. So he goes out and says, somebody take the WHACKT token, because McAfee got one of these tokens before he passed away as a symbol, that if something happens to me, I didn't do it to myself. Someone else did it to me. So Ben goes out and gets one of these tattoos because Ben's got a lot of people after him. And Ben is, he's like tweeting at Janice. He's doing all this stuff. There's stuff in his book about it. And I looked at this. The first time I saw this, I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. And then I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute. Ben is marketing the narrative. In other words, I could sit here and tell you John McAfee was an action hero. John McAfee was the ultimate meme. I could sit here and tell you that until I was red in the face and you were bored out of your mind. Or I can show you a guy who knows how to get attention, who's trying to use this narrative to get attention. And it might actually work, as long as he doesn't meet the actual people who found McAfee in that prison in Spain. But if the project is so bad, why is everyone so interested in it? Bubble Maps, Ben, the analyst that's writing term papers about it, they saw that move to 80 million. Ben saw it. Whoever's writing those term papers saw it. Every single meme coin, all of these speculative projects, okay, they've all got the same chart, right? All the way up, all the way down. The bigger the base, the higher in the space. It's as simple as that. Whatever fueled this move will be back. You don't think there's AI agents out there that are going to be issuing coins, doing blockchain projects, promoting blockchain projects? You don't think that's going to happen? In December, it was like the age of AI. AI agents will be downloading themselves into robots and walking around. And now there's nothing. KOLs aren't doing shows. A guy on a show said it. But we're sitting here with the bigger the base, the higher in the space. And I could show you the article from the Fudster, and I could show you how scared he is, but you may not believe that. But then we got Ben marketing the narrative. Why does Ben think the narrative is marketable? Because John McAfee is the ultimate crypto meme. And Bitboy, being a total genius, regardless of his mindset, regardless of his health, he's still a social media genius. Yes, you don't have to like him, but the numbers, the attention he can get, it all speaks for itself. It does. It speaks for itself. Not to mention he called XRP being the biggest coin for the next cycle, and that still could be true. It went up 400%. I mean, there's 1,000 reasons to be critical of Bitboy. But he knows how to get attention, and he's doing it with the John McAfee narrative. First, I was like, oh, God, this is so bad. Now I'm like, oh, my God, this is great. This is fantastic. I don't have to, I mean, I can sell it, but, I have 20,000 followers. 2,000 people watch the market update at most. This guy has 100,000 followers on YouTube. He's got a YouTube trophy, and there he is. Meanwhile, again, what are these guys doing? They have good project. They have stuff. They got stuff. It's good. Josh helped them make it. McAfee was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it. Okay. Now Josh is doing it for real. And we got a meme, and we got an app attached to it. And we got this. And we got people who are scared of it. Why do you think Bitboy's using it? Because they're scared. Okay. By the way, just so you know, John McAfee now has a podcast, Waltzing with Anarchy, The Custody Trap. By the way, there's a speech in here, the second episode, right? This episode, Navigating Chaos. You get bearish on this market, you go check that out. Because he's like, you know what? You never run away when it's nasty. Matter of fact, that's when you dive in, because the people who get really rich, that's what they do. Want to know what I did today? Let me tell you what I did today. You want to know when you do bullish cringe? When the market's down. So I'm minding my own business, checking the price of eggs at Costco, and I found myself a $16 orange Lamborghini. And I said, you know what? You want to know when you talk about Lamborghinis? When everyone thinks the market's going to zero. That's when you talk about Lamborghinis. And then you read your McAfee book. That thing went to 80 million once. I was on the air and I watched that thing. This is what I said. I said, you know what? The New York Times is going to pick up on this talking dead guy. I'm sitting there watching the screen and I watched this God candle blow through 50 million when I said that. Because I don't know, I was live. It was not coordinated. I went live and they launched the token early. I watched it go through 50 million and I still remember the power of that move. That power it can come back and it can permeate through Bitcoin, through your bags. This isn't just about antivirus. This is also about your bags. By the way, if you live in Europe, this one's for you. I expect some sovereign to act soon in order to silence me. I want y'all to know that everything I have done for the cause of freedom. I want a world in which authorities discover crimes, not manufacture them. A free world. John McAfee, May 10th, 2019. Okay? The ultimate meme. The ultimate privacy app. Because a guy on the street, as cool as it is, and we'll go over this, a guy on the street may not know how to use Tornado Cash. There's a thing, Silent Swap, out there, which I like. Wendy O, I've talked to these people, right? Silent Swap is going to start with Crypto Bros and then be able to branch out. Love the product. Don't get me wrong. They got the right idea, and they're going to benefit from this Tornado Cash thing. But antivirus, my daughter could open up a Phantom wallet and do it herself, scanning QR codes, backed up by the ultimate meme. So cryptocurrency, an app, and a meme, all it together. That's why they're afraid of it. Because if something like that ever got going, they couldn't stop it. Like they could shut me off. You know, social media companies shut off antivirus hard. I don't know, freaking out it was an impersonation or whatever excuse they use. I don't suppose, to be fair, I don't suppose that they've developed policies for what happens when AI brings people back from the dead. But they are back from the dead and he can talk. Watch out. Okay. Now, what could be the key to the fortunes of antivirus, the AI sector, and other things like the market? Well, as much as I hate to say it, it's probably Fartcoin, right? It's Fartcoin. It's Truth Terminal. And a machine came up and said, okay, what's funny? Fartcoin. Farting has been funny probably since going back to the Neanderthals. I can't believe farting was not funny back in caveman days. So let's make a funny meme coin, Fartcoin. Now, if Fartcoin turns around, which ironically all the giga trading bears on Twitter want to buy, it's funny, along with some of the guys who helped teach me crypto, all want to buy Fartcoin. I'm like, oh my God, please take Fartcoin back to $2.50. Please moon it. Fartcoin is what? 380 million? Jesus, these things were at like $2.5 billion in market cap. You know, moon the AI space. Just moon it. Moon it. Why is everyone bearish? Like, everyone's sleeping. Fartcoin caught everyone sleeping. People were bullish, but sleeping. Everyone bullish. Everyone bearish. Want to do technical analysis? Let's do it again. Everyone sleeping. Everyone bullish. Everyone bearish. And what happens if people are sleeping and bearish? We saw what happened over here when people were sleeping and bullish. What happens if they're sleeping and bearish? Gone. Poof. 8 billion. Pepe went to 8 billion. Pepe's a frog. Fartcoin's AI. Antivirus is AI. Backed up by a dead guy who's going to talk to Joe Rogan. How fast? They did 200 years worth of innovation in AI. Using AI, they did 200 years of innovation in 6 months. Where's antivirus going to be at the end of this year or next year? You tell me. Is it going to be at 3 million above or below? Where's Bitcoin going to be? Has anyone thought about this? Orange Man's Treasury removes sanctions on crypto's favorite laundry service, Tornado Cash. They promised transactional freedom at the Libertarian Convention. Bobby was the one who wanted it. And the Orange Man picked up the narrative. And he delivered it. He got Ross out. The Tornado Cash guy got let out in Europe. U.S. government lifts Tornado Cash sanctions and the ban. So what is Tornado Cash? Well, it's a mechanism by which you drop in ETH and they spin it around and they spit the ETH out and it's still yours, obviously, but they don't, the blockchain trace goes away. They can't follow you around with Arkham or bubble maps or whatever. It's called a mixer. Now, this is very fancy in a sense that it's decentralized. Now, AIntivirus has a mixer, a Solana mixer, and they're going to have an ETH mixer. They already have it. We have it. Right? Tornado Cash got a market cap like 40 million. AIntivirus has a market cap of 4 million. What happens when AIntivirus has this brand along with Tornado Cash, right? Like Tornado Cash obviously has a brand. They earned it the hard way because they were mercilessly persecuted. Okay. The guy who ran it was thrown in jail. Just did no trial. Just they picked him up and threw him in jail for writing code. They can come pick me up. They can come pick me up. Do the market update in an orange jumpsuit. That's fine. It's fine. We got internet. We'll do it there. No problem. Wendy O congratulates Tornado Cash. She is I believe, a board member, as in she has equity in Silence Swap. So, they want to get Samourai Wallet off the sanction list. Keep your transactions private, your identity mask, your funds secured. Right? McAfee was the original samurai. There is a picture of him in his samurai outfit. So I want Wendy's group to do well. I talked to Wendy's group. No one's going to stop talking McAfee. No one's going to stop Janice. Wait till Janice gets up on a stage at a crypto conference and starts telling large numbers of people the things that she told me. You want to talk about real? It's unbelievable. Now, on to other notes. The Chinese are deathly afraid of the Orange Man's tariffs. Imports, which I looked up, I got from my guys who I used to work with. In the United States, imports only account for 11% of GDP. So if imports in the United States get more expensive, contrary to what Uncle Jerome said, it's not going to be a problem. Yeah, it might be inconvenient, but it's not going to be this thing where everything at Costco 50Xs in 12 months. It's not. But, of course, the Fed thinks it's a big deal because the Fed is a card-carrying member of the deep state. Period. The Chinese are terrified because they're printing money like no one's business. Their stock market is the only stock market that's up. If you go back to the election, they can't print enough money. They're scared. They should be. Because the Orange Man means business. Now, he means business about crypto, and he probably means business about other things geopolitically, some of which I like, some of which I don't. But they mean business, and they're doing this. So I go back to this. I come back to it from time to time. These guys who want transactional freedom, and they want wealth effect and prosperity. I don't care what you say about the Orange Man. He wants money in your pocket. He wants prosperity. Should you trust sovereigns? Absolutely not. Are there people out there who want you to not be okay? Absolutely. Some of them could be corporations. Some of it's probably the private sector, like Web 2. Yeah. But the Orange Man wants money in your pocket. If he's willing to take on the Chinese, he's willing to help you. Conor McGregor wants to be president of Ireland, looking very presidential there with the Orange Man in the White House. People are over it. They're over it. They're going to put a UFC fighter in charge of the country. And you know what? He has court cases like the Orange Man. They're trying to get him too. They're trying to get everybody. They're trying to get McAfee from the dead. They're trying to get after dead people. Never mind Conor McGregor. 21 truths of Bitcoin. Michael Saylor. The poor guy is out there all by his lonesome trying to get people to see why they should pay attention. Like Bitcoin is ethical. What else we got? Bitcoin is digital gold. On and on and on and on. Bitcoin is a digital energy network. On and on and on and on. And no one's listening. No one's listening until he shows up at Bitcoin Vegas, which we have a QR code for, right? So you can get a ticket, not until this guy shows up, not in an orange tie, but until he shows up red, white, and blue with the Orange Man. The Orange Man goes to Vegas. That's going to be a big deal. That unto itself is going to moon it. Because if they can't moon it, if they can't talk it up now, what do you think? They're just going to give up? Does Orange Man impress you as a guy that just gives up? I mean, he's like the most indicted person in human history. Literally, in United States history, he may have gotten more indictments than, say, like a guy like Al Capone, who was a gangster in the 20th century. Strategy offering perpetual stock. We will give you all the legacy paper that you can eat so we can buy Bitcoin. And you know what? Guys are soaking it up. Wall Street's like, ooh, we can sell a high fee structured product. Cool. How much more of this you got? Michael Saylor's like, well, a lot more, bro. A lot more. Wall Street's like, awesome. Let's do it. Let's call all the insurance companies, right? See all those movies? Guys on 2 phones. Hey, man, want to buy MicroStrategy paper? Hey, man, want to buy MicroStrategy paper? This is high margin business at Wall Street. Billions. And you know what he's probably saving the ammo for? Like, I don't know that he's like aggressively buying it at 82, although he should be. And he probably could be quietly. Maybe he's saving it to blow it through 100 and make sure it never goes back down again. Like maybe he's going to try to make 100 or 90 like the base case, right? So blow it to 120 and then bring it back to 100 and then just forget about it. Up only supply shock. Toby will do the roadmap tonight in the YouTube member area. So you definitely want to check out Crypto Happy Hour coming to a theater near you this evening. That link is down below. The QR code is here. You're crazy if you miss that. Everyone wants a winning strategy. Dare I show the logo? All right, it's not that bad. As long as they don't have that corporate logo in the office with Mike standing next to it. I mean, somebody put out a tweet that says the asset class has topped for years as a result of that. God, I hope not. Okay, Brad Garlinghouse says that they want their $125 million in legal fees back. I don't know that they're getting that back, because if Uncle Sugar gives him his legal fees back, they're going to have to give that back to everybody. I don't know how that works exactly, but I'm sure he can press the advantage and make all the noise he wants, because it gets him on Bloomberg and this thing where, oh yeah, we're thinking about doing an IPO. Dude, trust me, Brad and his company, they have privately held Ripple stock. Novogratz has it. Obviously, he's got it. So they've got XRP and Ripple privately held stock. That stock is going public. They are going public. They're probably just waiting for XRP $5 to do it, but they are doing it, which means that if XRP goes up, they have a bullish catalyst that can drive it even higher. Just like the U.S. has the Sovereign Wealth Fund and the Strategic Reserve, that if it goes up, they could absolutely break it out. In theory, Michael Saylor's getting ammo. This guy could IPO. People are completely discounting all this stuff. Their bags aren't being mooned right now, but what could happen if this thing starts to accelerate the other way? Just like in 2023. You knew the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF was coming, but too many people were, they were focused on FTX. The media couldn't get off FTX for a year. FTX, they were addicted to the negativity. What I want you to be focused on is freedom and prosperity. Who exactly is out there writing giant essays about why you should not follow Janice McAfee to privacy and freedom? Who's doing that? Right? Brad and the Orange Man and me versus them. Janice and Josh versus whoever McAfee met in the Spanish prison. Because you know what? You could erase me. You can erase everybody. That token is still out there. You cannot censor the market. You're not going to turn off Solana. You're not going to turn off XRP. You're sure as hell not going to turn off Bitcoin. Japanese public company Metaplanet appoints Eric Trump to get out there and talk their book. I don't think this guy can do it. You know, bless his heart, but that's not a spokesperson. That's not a microphone jockey. Eric Trump can do it. He should bull post at the low, not the high. I do both. I get it. No judgment. But these guys are getting after it, and they're starting to figure out, like somebody said on the show, where are the KOLs? Where's everybody out there going, hey, let's go crypto? Where is everybody? Everybody left. Everybody's packed it in. Everyone thinks memes are dead. The cycle's over. No, the cycle hasn't started. Cart me out if I'm wrong. Cart me out. SEC confirms Bitcoin and crypto mining do not violate securities laws. Is it me, or has the SEC got a bullish quote of the day? Is it me? Or do they have a social media arm that sits around and goes, okay, what are we bull posting about crypto today? This hasn't registered with people yet. It really hasn't. I mean, yeah, certain things like dropping the Ripple lawsuit may have been priced in, hence the 400% rally in XRP. Fine. But they're telling you every single day to get involved, and everyone's like, no, you didn't moon my bags and my meme coins went to zero. No, I'm not doing it. Okay. The Bitcoin halving was 11 months ago. I gave this presentation at MIT explaining why it would take 12 months before Bitcoin's price would really start to run. That time is nearly here. Buckle up. And as a reminder, as they do at MIT, the computer science required to create a Bitcoin is so complicated, it actually accounts for what makes Bitcoin so scarce. So not only can you not print it like $1 or €1, but the computer science just to run the network, they call it, I think they call it difficulty, right? It's computers trying to solve a puzzle, right? And there may not be a solution to the puzzle. The network just simply decides, okay, this is the puzzle. This is the best solution to the puzzle. This miner gets to build the block and gets the Bitcoin. That's how it actually works, right? And then there are altcoins that do all kinds of things. There's Web3. There's the coins that you like. There's the coins that I like. There's coins with functionality. There's coins like FART that are memes. Why can't we do it all? They do it all in the stock market. They have small caps, you know, like green plants were like a big thing. You know, it was like this cult investing thing in stocks for years, 10 years ago. Now it's like, yeah, it's commonplace. Same thing with crypto. By the way, antivirus does do all these things like privacy, transactions, SIM cards, green plants, merch. They even did a treasure hunt, by the way. They did a treasure hunt for their followers because they know people are freaking depressed. So they got little prizes going on literally all over the world that if you win some Solana and some antivirus just because they wanted to be nice to the people in the community. You know, prosperity, right? What about prosperity? Scarcity is for Bitcoin. Scarcity is not for you. Your job is to be prosperous. Bitcoin is the AI trade. Bitcoin is the prosperity trade. Everybody thinks AI brings back, I don't know, scary stuff. It probably does. I make my fair share of Terminator and Skynet jokes only because I'm super critical of Web 2 and I want everybody moving towards Web 3. The difference between our lives and the Terminator movies is we have a path to prosperity. And we need to take that path because you know what? There are characters out there who don't want you to be free. And I don't know who's paying this guy to write giant term papers, but whoever it is, it's not going to work. Meanwhile, back at the Legacy Ranch, this redhead who blew up on TikTok for videos demonstrating how private equity firms are doing men behaving badly, lending and borrowing, and buying companies that you see in American suburban strip malls, and then driving the company into the ground or selling it for scrap because they can't afford to pay the high interest on these speculative loans that they took out. Wait, what? The financial industry doesn't have your best interest at heart? You mean the banks have created every big problem that's ever happened, including creating the Fed? What? Oh, the banks. Yeah, they're working for you. Jamie Dimon wakes up every morning and goes, yeah, you know what? I want Richard Barry to have 10,000 Twitter followers, and I want him to feed his kids, and I want him to have a great life. I want Bull Runner and T-Bone. I want these guys out of their day jobs. That's exactly what Jamie Dimon says when he wakes up in the morning. Whatever. These guys, I swear to God, you turn your back on them, they'd stick your, they bite you on the, they bite you like a shark, right? I know. I used to work at Goldman, right? You would see, there's all kinds of people in the building, right? And you would sit across from either them or hedge fund guys. You would just look at them. And it's like, if I turn my back on this guy, he's going to just savages. They don't want you to be free. They want to just like, I don't know, they want to eat you. That's what they want to do. Or they want you to eat bugs either way. There's men behaving loans. There's men behaving badly loans out there. And the Fed is going to have to put high-powered money in the system to deal with this and the fact that Uncle Sugar wants to borrow $9 trillion. Why do you think the orange man is on a rampage? Why do you think the orange man wants to get as much crypto in everyone's pocket as he can? Like, the strategic Bitcoin reserve is right here in your phone. This is a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I should have thought of that earlier, right? Because they don't want you to have it. I mean, the orange man does, but there's other people that don't want you to have it. Those people are trying to scare you out of the market. And I'm not going to let them. I don't care how many people watch the videos. I am not going to let them scare my people out of the water. Not the Patreon members, not the YouTube member areas, not the people who watch these shows. Like, I am just pounding the table. Patreon has got the Easter seasonals piece where I still think Bitcoin during like March and April, right around Easter, before and after, can actually do very well. And if the market doesn't go down in the next couple of days, I think you're going to have a rally. Fans of Tesla stock buy at a pace never before seen. So obviously people are stupid selling Tesla stock and giving up on that just because people are out smearing, fudge, human fudge on windshields of Teslas. I mean, I think I've seen it all. It's amazing that the fans of Tesla are buying Tesla, but the fans of Bitcoin are packing it in and walking away. Not you, of course, but somebody is. Somebody is. We're walking away. Tesla fans cannot get enough. And we've packed it in. You got to be kidding me. Okay. By the way, did you know if you got an FHA loan from Uncle Sugar, you may not have to pay it back? Matter of fact, no one's making payments on it. Can you believe it? I can. They just handed out money to people. They don't care. And we're the criminals, right? But AIntivirus at 4 million market cap. Whoa, it's a big problem. Got to write an essay about that. But let's have Uncle Sugar handing out money everywhere. Let's have European governments put people in jail for what? Right? Because they want to be prosperous and free. Bitcoin is well on its way to disrupting gold. We think it will cross $1 million. Dude, that's fantastic. Her outfit is fantastic. Could we get someone to pay 86? Could we get Bitcoin above the 200-day moving average? Because you have to get above the 200-day moving average before it goes to $1 million. I'm just saying. It's going to 1 million, but someone else is going to buy it. No, dude, we all have to buy it, and we all should. I mean, it's not investment advice. I can only tell you what I'm doing. Pancakes and peanut butter in the house. El Salvador, they just buy every day, and it's boring at this point to people, along with Michael Saylor. Swarm of people attacking Tesla. Now, let me ask you something. Toby Ward in the YouTube member area does a really good job of talking about energy. Like from time to time, she will say, you know what, big boy, your energy stinks. Take that Scorpio, nasty, negative, harsh, dark stuff somewhere else. Fair enough. I stand corrected. Everybody is eating this up about what's happening to Teslas, which again is a huge mistake because he's just going to come back in harder. He fired 90% of Twitter. He's going to fire 90% of whatever he can inside Uncle Sugar's little world. They made a huge mistake with this. So not only is he getting free advertising for his cars, probably getting a whole bunch of new buyers coming in, but all of a sudden, there's this focus on what's negative, right? It's like, oh, you know, everyone hates Elon. Oh, everyone's doing this to Tesla. Ah, it's negative. Ah, it's terrible. No. Ah, it's positive. Ah, AI agents are coming. Ah, Bitcoin is the path to freedom. Ah, antivirus is everything McAfee ever wanted. And McAfee is back. And you saw at the beginning of the stream why the guy was a legend. You're going to have a legend talking to Joe Rogan. You're going to have a legend sitting there talking to tech CEOs, right? McAfee didn't like his own company anymore. Intel bought it and he hated it. Can you see McAfee, a hologram of McAfee pointing at the CEO of NVIDIA, asking him about his accounting? We could feed NVIDIA's books to the AI agent and let McAfee go through it. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And it's so radical, it's hard to get your head wrapped around it, which is why I tell my people to read science fiction, right? The guy who's writing all this negative antivirus FUD, dude, write term papers about the science fiction novels that you've read. Because you have a YouTube guy who got on a plane to look at this guy in the face, hang out with him for 3 hours, talk to Janice about him. But please feel free to continue to market our services for free. Crypto scammers using Bitcoin ATMs. You ever get a call from somebody and says you have to pay a fine and you have to go to a Bitcoin ATM to do so, don't do it. And if you know that already, make sure you tell your friends. Don't use a Bitcoin ATM at the behest of anyone calling you on the phone. Personally, if we're going to do Bitcoin ATMs, we should be doing Bitcoin ATMs inside GameStop. GameStop should be the Bitcoin brick and mortar. Again, please put me on television. Please put me in charge of something so I can help make these things happen. I'll do it. I'll do it. NASDAQ shifts to round-the-clock stock trading, partly due to crypto. Gee, is someone afraid of crypto? TradFi guys a little worried about there? That Gen Z is going to want absolutely nothing to do with them? And if they do want something to do with them, their securities are going to have to be on blockchain rails because no one is going to go open up an Ameritrade or Schwab or whatever. No one's going to do that. They're going to open up Phantom and they're going to open up Coinbase and they're going to have it all there. And they may just have Phantom. You know, they just recently made it legal in Pakistan. How are people in Pakistan ever going to buy U.S. stocks if you need a brokerage account, a bank account, KYC, all this stuff? They can't do that. They're living in the mud. How many poor people that you got out there can't get access to capital markets? Capital markets are supposed to be about allocating resources so people can build wealth and be free. Now, instead, it's controlled by Jamie Dimon and friends. But guess what? We can end that. Bitcoin fixes this. Michael Saylor fixes this. Mike Novogratz fixes this. John McAfee fixes this. Bill Noble fixes this. Who else we got here? Right? DC Precise fixes this. Grandpa Keeter fixes this. Tango FN fixes this. Right? These guys in the AIntivirus Twitter group. I'm sorry, Telegram group. We're not on Twitter because they ran away scared. Chicken. Think this is the first dead guy that's going to come back. No, it's not the first dead guy that's going to come back. Well, it kind of is, but it's the only dead guy that can scare all of these billionaires so that they don't sleep at night. Because they have to sleep, but McAfee doesn't. Imagine McAfee talking all day about the sins of Web 2. Oh my God. Oh my God. No wonder they're trying to shut it off. They can't stop it. I'm telling you, the AI is out there. They're going to turn that thing on and it's going to get loose. And that meme coin is going to go with it. I'm telling you, they're afraid. They should be. They should be. Because you can't stop that. You can't shut that off. You can't shut it off. What are you going to do? Shut the internet down? Senate hearing for crypto-friendly SEC chair. The SEC is now a marketing agency for crypto, but we're bearish. Ripple CEO confident XRP paused for U.S. crypto stockpile and ETF approval. But let's short XRP. Let's get shorted. That's what people in crypto are saying. Yeah, let's get short. It's priced in. Sell the fact. Sell what fact? Sell freedom? Sell prosperity? What fact are we selling? Oh, yeah, the news item. Yeah, let's look at the market like this. Like this is the perspective of the average crypto person. That's why that's why this character can go out and FUD and get and you know, people eat that up. Because you know, it's like, oh, let's slide some new FUD in here. Prosperity. I had a good week this week. I actually found that I took two completely good deep breaths, like all the way in, all the way down to the bottom, and all the way out. So like, two. Next week, 3. XRP price chart hints at 75% gains next as SEC ends lawsuit with Ripple. Ripple is going public. Ripple IPO possible. Brad's looking real smart in his suit out with the, you know, I don't know, whoever this is. Tell it to him straight, Brad. You're going to IPO. You're going to hire 10,000 people. You're going to use the IPO proceeds to buy back XRP. You're going to do exactly what all these big corporations have done with their stock, which is earn money and then use it to buy back the stock or XRP or both. It's really that simple. They go out, they IPO, they get customers, they get banks, they get the UAE, they get all these big players using it. They get the Orange Man and the Sovereign Wealth Fund buying the XRP ETF. I think what's going to happen with the XRP and Solana ETFs and the Solana phone, this is a repeat of what happened with the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF back in 2022. Because remember all that? It's like, are we ever going to get a Bitcoin ETF? You know, Gensler kept saying, no, 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 no. Then the phone rang and it was Larry Fink. And Larry said, Gary, approve it. Gary went, okay. You know, I want to keep my head on my shoulders. So I'll do what Larry says. And they approved it. Now you got no such problem. The Orange Man's like, oh, what? We need the XRP ETF? Oh, don't I have a guy who can do this? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's the crypto friendly guy. Yeah, sign that. Let's go. It's going to happen. But again, everyone wants to short the market. Ondo Finance, tokenization is just getting started. While adoption for tokenized treasuries has seen tremendous growth, again, tokenizing treasuries, getting stable coins, becoming huge players. Tether is like the 9th biggest holder of treasuries. The total opportunity for global equity markets expanding is in excess of 100 trillion. So if Uncle Sugar has to do 9 trillion in bonds, technically, if you tokenized the entire government bond market, which is not going to happen tomorrow. But if you had it all tokenized, you'd have a lot more liquidity. And if you have a men behaving badly incident with that redhead who's on Alex Jones, why do you think BlackRock wants all this tokenized? They don't want to have to go through banks or third parties. They want direct access to capital markets. So do you. So does everyone in Pakistan. So do the antivirus holders. We want to be able to go direct to the market ourselves. We do not want to have to ask Jamie Dimon for permission to access markets or, frankly, pay him to do it. It's just ridiculous. If you want to open up a bank account, you got to take a half a day off work to go to the bank to sign papers. You want to wire money, you got to go down there, pay $30 and spend 40 minutes, or you got to do it online. It takes forever. And then it's 3 to 5 days to get your money. I'm telling you, this is over. It's over. If Tornado Cash is loose, it's all loose. The tornado, Wendy O is right about this. If Tornado Cash is loose, they're going to let everything loose. And if Tornado Cash can do business, then Bitcoin and ETH and all this stuff that they're telling you is dead is absolutely not dead. Not dead. Not only not dead, but is waiting to explode. BlackRock buying Bitcoin. I don't know how long, how many days in a row can this go on before you have a supply shock, right? How long? And then when the supply shock comes, then you're going to have Michael Saylor coming in with billions to probably drive it higher. That just occurred to me, right? It's like Michael Saylor's like, why buy it at 82? I'm going to buy it at 107. Or I'm going to buy it at 111, just so people understand. That's the way the guy thinks. He always says, I'm going to buy the high every time. Bitcoin is a commodity. I couldn't say that about a security. Okay, I can stand here and tell you that the price of Bitcoin will go to 13 million. I couldn't say that about a security, but you have legal immunity to express your opinion about a commodity. Again, the SEC is like, go, Mike, go forth, preach the word. It's like, it's funny. We got Easter coming up. There was that guy. I did this Easter query for, that had a lot of good GAN biblical numbers in it for Patreon, the middle tier offering. Long time ago, there was this guy. He had a lot of new cool stuff to say. Some people listened, some didn't. Some people got really angry. But at the end of the day, many, many, many years later, everybody remembers this guy's birthday and the day he passed away. And the day he came back again. Love this whole coming back from the dead resurrection thing. Love it. Right? Even though McAfee was a sinner, he's back. He's back. Right? And the only tech CEO that I think is safe from the wrath of AI McAfee is Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor might actually want to sit down and talk to John McAfee. Can you imagine that? It's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Dubai Land Project launches real estate tokenization plan. Historical data suggests strong rallies can occur when the score exceeds 60. The Bitcoin bull score has hit a 2-year low of 20. Okay, normally scores below 40 indicate bear markets. So the Bitcoin bullish score on CryptoQuant is back where it was after FTX. We are at FTX levels. KOLs done. Meme coins done. Everybody out. Everybody out. And they're trying to get the $3.9 million meme coin. They're trying to kill it. Fartcoin at $2.5 billion was a fantastic buy. An antivirus at $4 million. No, don't touch that. Don't touch Bitcoin. I mean, look at this. Just look at the chart and tell me that this is like that we are in a similar situation to FTX. Like we have turned a 25% correction into an excuse to go into a lack mentality and ignore prosperity. Like supposedly, I covered this yesterday. We're all miserable. Why? Now, well, we know why, right? I went to Costco today. I understand people are miserable. They're yelling at each other in the parking lot. Like when Austin turns into New York, we've all gone wackadoo. And there's only one solution to this, and that's crypto. It is. SEC Task Force Roundtable kicks off March 21. Now, is this ceremony for a bunch of guys in suits? Maybe. Do they have standing orders from the Orange Man to make something happen? I think they do. Like the Orange Man just kind of looks at all these people and is like, look, make something happen. You don't know what to do? Get on the tape every single day. Give me a tweet. Get going. Every single day, do something. And we're sitting here watching this and we're like, yeah, it's not good enough. Nah. Nah. You know, no, they're trying to hand you the holy grail of Bitcoin. They're trying to hand you privacy, transactional freedom. Again, Wendy O out there with Silent Swap. You don't believe in antivirus? Go check them out. Don't believe me? Go listen to Wendy. Wendy's got it. She's got it going on. She's got 1 million followers across all social media platforms, and she's a partner in a privacy trading DEX. Wendy O probably gets a 5-figure amount to show up and like something or retweet something like Altcoin Daily. Maybe not as big as Altcoin Daily, but what, is Wendy stupid? No, of course not. Of course not. The SEC crypto talks kick off. Here's Hester. Hester, do something. I know you were pro crypto supposedly, but do something. Give me something more than just being the pro crypto person there somewhere. There's lots of pro crypto people. Now let's do something. XRP case was priced in. Maybe. Is the Ripple IPO and Ripple and XRP buybacks priced in? Is 200K Bitcoin priced in? I don't think so. I don't think so. SEC holding its first ever roundtable. Crypto czar David Sacks holds talks with the UAE. And the UAE says, please don't take our crypto industry away. And David Sacks is like, we don't want to take your crypto industry away. We want you to help us build ours. What the hell do you think they're talking about? These are not ceremonial meetings. I mean, yeah, maybe roundtables and summits are ceremonial. But this guy does not want all his crypto business leaving. This guy wants to work with him and say, how do we build it? Ripple IPO. Gee, it's all over the news, huh? Ethereum supply on exchanges has dropped to 8.97 million, the lowest level since 2015. DeFi and staking continue to pull ETH from exchange wallets. So we're back to 2015 in ETH. What was going on in ETH at 2015? Well, Vitalik still had zits, and they made this thing, and no one knew what to do with it. They're like, this is useless. We don't need this. It doesn't do anything. What's a dApp? Doesn't have a killer app. It doesn't have anything that runs on it. What are we going to run on this thing? We don't need to run on any. We don't need to do that. We don't need that. Okay. Then they did NFTs. Then they did DeFi. What are they going to do next? Well, I don't know. How about the entire internet? You guys want to bend down and you guys want to kneel to Caesar? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you want some machine or some tech oligarch telling you how to run your life or what you can and cannot say? I don't think so. And the only guy who can save you from that, ironically, not the only guy, John McAfee can help you out with that, but so can Vitalik. And again, the only reason to buy ETH is that there's no reason to buy ETH. There was no reason to buy ETH in 2015. It was a speculative, you know what, Hershey's Kiss coin. And now it's back to its roots. So much the better. So some whale is depositing ETH, may wind up selling $65 million profit. Why? Because he hodled it for a very long time. Okay, TA. This is why influencers are not doing shows. Because these charts, when they dry up, they dry up. Okay, ETH versus Bitcoin performing well. That's nice to see. 90-minute chart of XRP, nothing. 90-minute chart of Solana versus Bitcoin, trying to do something good. Okay. 13 bottom remains in Solana on the daily chart. Bitcoin can't get to 82, can't go to 86. Stuck. Like Solana goes below equilibrium and then comes back up. My guess is that we're in a game where money flow has to start coming into crypto slowly. I also continue to believe that this level of puking in Solana, I mean, maybe that's a venture capital unlock or whatever the heck it is. Who in God's name is giving up on this stuff? You got to be kidding me. The Solana phone is coming out. Bitcoin can't recover above the 200-day moving average. They can't wait to short it. They can't wait to short it. Okay. Well, I guess maybe we'll take it down and we'll have the Bill is Stupid show. Maybe. I don't know. Are we selling Avalanche on top of the discount zone? On top of the discount zone, it is slowly trying to break out. Security token functionality up when the market's down. I saw some like Avalanche little convention thing that they had going on. Bunch of people running around in red shirts. God bless them. I mean, again, I keep going back to ETH, right? It's like ETH sitting on top of the discount zone. It's like it's dead. But it's on top of the discount zone. Why would you sell anything on top of the discount zone? Aero is the same thing. Why? Right? Why would you puke that out here? It's like the base DEX, like all of DeFi, right? Like here's, for Steve J, if he's out there, DeFi went back to where it was at the bottom of the yen carry trade. So this is like Chainlink, synthetics, this is old school DeFi, right? DefiPerp, so it's like an index, is back where it was in September of 2023. Everybody wants to know about the cycle. There hasn't been a cycle. You've had cycles within cycles, which, by the way, is a huge thing from the YouTube member area. Probably Toby Ward's best call. All the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. Cycles within cycles. So everyone wants it to go up, their whole portfolio 50Xs, they dump it on some moron, and then it goes to zero for 3 years. That's what everyone's waiting for. That's not happening. It's not. Right? Now, if you get an up-only move, that could be, she keeps talking about 2017. So part of what we go on in the YouTube member area is when will the 2017 banana singularity happen? Will you have like, when is that move going to occur and what's the roadmap? And we're going to go over that most likely tonight or tomorrow night. So please come check that out. So I didn't have much to say today. The Eagle King is like, bro, you didn't tell me you were going for this long today because I had a few things to say. Now let's sum it up. I'm in Janice McAfee's corner. I spent time with the guy who's managing the antivirus project, and I believe he wants McAfee's vision out there. I know Janice does because these bad guys chase Janice all over the world. And if they want to write 10-page term papers trashing everybody, fine. The intelligence analysts, the FUDsters, whoever they are, the people who hate freedom, the people who don't like Bitcoin, the people who think you should eat bugs, they all live under the same log. That's it. And I'm not doing it because you can't put lightning in a bottle. You cannot censor a market. You can't. You can have the Fed try to push it around. You could have BlackRock try to push it around. But crypto is too nimble, too small, and frankly, too volatile to put in a bottle. Which is why you have these guys who have to come out and do things like FUD antivirus when, the facts are out there. The facts are out there and the people who want you to be free and prosperous. So until the McAfee hologram can do his own streams, I'm going to be the one who tells you about Bitcoin. I'm the one who tells you about transactional freedom. I'm the one who tells you these things. Right? Please support the channel. By the way, if you're still listening, thank you. turn on the notification bell. Most likely, if you're still listening, you've got the notification bell on. Please support the channel with the YouTube member area. Please go join the AIntivirus Telegram group. Okay, antivirus.ai is where you can find them. Please support me in Patreon. It's the middle tier offering. It has a chat. I'm telling you, when this market picks up, it's going to be on fire. It's going to be on fire, right? Find something cheap. And if you're going to Bitcoin Vegas and you got money and you want to get tickets, use that link, because Michael Saylor is going to be there, and he's going to be there with friends. And man, I hope they get Janice on stage. God, can you imagine me interviewing Janice at Bitcoin Vegas? Like, Janice has got some shit to say. Okay, that's it, people. We will see you next week.